They need to put a countdown on this thing. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Mic Check. Tonight we are doing television promo copy because, hey, wait a minute. I can hear myself. Because it would just be a good idea for us to not hear me twice. Anyway, we're doing television promo copy because, well, in voiceover, there is a wide array of things that you get yourself into, and television promo, uh, being that TV is a huge thing nowadays, whether it be streaming TV or regular over the air broadcast, which I'm a part of. Thank you. Old school. Anyway, there are promos for the shows that run, and they have to have somebody voice them. And I know, in this industry, we would prefer the professionals. That's us. So let's practice some television promo. Let's see. Liz said she was going to take it away first. So go ahead, Liz.
All right. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on the dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. And I'll pass it off to Justin.
Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like? Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Mattel. You there, Mattel?
He may be away from his mic. Wow, did I ever do that?
Okay, let's go with Leonard then.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Mateo, are you there? Nathan, then.
Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. K. Marcus.
Alrighty. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Hi, Mateo. Perfect timing.
My go, I guess.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. I think Alice is not participating in the Leonard.
I think we've done everybody except for Ellis.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Thanks for the order, Justin.
That's been all of us. So anyway, I think we have reached the discussion portion. Unless somebody rolls in.
Right.
Anytime now. No, maybe not.
So, voice over or voice under?
There we go.
That's kind of a hard thing because on one hand, it is clarifying some of the stuff that's more likely than not going to be on the screen, but the voice may not necessarily be the main focus. I'm leaning towards voice under, if only just. Because if you think about it, you could technically remove the voiceover and still get more or less the same message across. Because I'm betting that with a promo like this, there's going to be views of somebody flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living. And then cut to the end on to the tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Yeah. Not to mention the ambulance is showing up. Who is this guy? Evil Knievel?
And the fact that he has paramedic friends.
Well, yeah. Paramedic friends. How else did they become his friends? So,
Broke your leg again? All right. Well, let's get you set up and so we can take you to the hospital.
what number? Some guy comes over there. That still only counts as one.
So what we are saying is that this could be either or both.
Yeah, either or.
The question that comes to my mind is, does this even have visuals of this guy flying through the air on a dirt bike?
Well, being
Because it
that
could be like just in between programs, they have some announcer in the background saying, "Oh, this is coming up at some point in the future."
Coming from the from doing TV, something like this, there's always something visual on top of it
Okay.
consistently because they want you to see it, you know, and they want you to hear this guy, but being that he's not the center of attention, I would say this is voice under because he's referencing all of this. He's not, you know, this guy's putting this in the spotlight, not himself.
Yeah. And I have seen stuff where they do promos on upcoming programs without any visuals.
Yeah, for
But,
instance, radio.
Not counting radio.
Yeah.
I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
Spotify.
What?
Spotify.
In this case, this is specifically
Yeah.
labeled television promo. So you're going to be more than likely when you're voicing something like this, they've already pulled together all the video that they want for it.
Mhm.
And they're handing you copy to fill that video in with your voice, you know. And of course, being that it's Extreme Summer Sports Network, you've got the grindy guitar thing going on, and you know, little tiny dash of heavy metal, and you know,
Yeah, vibing.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's just it's.
I was gonna
Go
say I
ahead.
have one minor issue with the copy is that it says tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. At what time?
That right there, and like I said, I work in TV, so this is old hat to me. But when they do that, the time is normally on the lower third by the time you get to the end of the spot.
Yeah, they probably display it on the
On screen, yeah.
on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The you know, because so
wouldn't make sense otherwise.
if it's any other time than the time specified in the copy, it'll actually show. Now, I mean, I've seen some promos. We have generic promos that we've run where it's been, you know, they're like, all this week, but we'll have the time specified all this week, and we'll have 11 a.m. because that's when
Yeah.
the show that we're promoting is running on our station. So the producer has to go in there and drop in the time on that, specific to the time slot that we run it at. So it's a TV thing. So yeah. I mean, unless it's, you know, like I say, if this wasn't a television promo, it would be set up just a little bit different, you know, and it could say tonight for somebody on radio, but
Where's the
they would
like,
have to
8,
include
7
the
Central?
time, you know, specifically what time it's running. It'd be like tonight at 8 on the, something like that.
Yeah, I may be hallucinating here, but I'm recalling that at some point in the past, we had a promo person on the mic check
Yes, we
as
did.
a guest coach.
Mm-hmm.
And that what they were saying is that promo in general, you do a very flat delivery and probably pretty fast.
Yeah. I mean, I think it sometimes depends on what network you're running on, what you're doing. I mean, you have things like, AMC where it's like tonight on The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
Or tonight
remember
on
that.
Mad Men.
Yeah. Yeah, I was visualizing this as essentially without visuals while the credits of some previous program were scrolling.
Yeah, that can
Ooh.
happen too. More times than not with something like this, you're going to be seeing it.
Yeah, okay.
You
Well, you are the pro on this, and I am not, so I
As
will
soon-
happily go with your direction on that.
17 years in television, my friend.
As soon as you said that, my immediate first thought was some of the networks my grandma watches where you'll have the end of the show and the credits are running at like 90 miles an hour because they're trying to get through them quickly.
Mhm.
And the screen like shifts so that way it's half and half and it shows the promo. And while the credits are going, you hear the ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's how I was visualizing
Yep.
it, but it's not the only way to visualize it.
There's multiple ways we do this stuff. I mean, there's that good old classic style of just dropping that spot in at the back end of the program and actually letting the program end correctly. Or, if you're on something like, one of those networks that shows classic old TV shows, who cares about the credits? This show is 50 years old. We don't care. We'll just cut that out and just throw the commercial in there. I care. I
care.
Even though I do know that was Peter Graves consistently every scene. Peter Graves. I'm looking at you, Fury. Lassie with hooves. Anyway, back to voiceover. Rob has joined us, so we're going to let him do his read, and then we'll jump back into the discussion portion.
If he actually got the, I
you?
reposted the.
Oh, good. Thank you, Mateo.
The link, but I don't know if he got it.
Yeah, I have it. It's just
okay. Great.
All right.
Well, give us a read.
Okay, as soon as I figure out, there it is. Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, now you missed the part where we asked if this was voiceover or voice under, but you probably heard us say what it was already. So
I heard a little something about
answer both.
It being an audio.
Under.
So on principle, I'm going to disagree with that because I know that Michael would want us to if he were here.
Well, I don't have any principles, so there you go.
It's so sad that there's no mic to just rebuck me.
I'm too desperate for that. I'm sorry.
Well, and if Nathan was saying too that something like this, there are going to be visuals, which immediately should clue us into voice under.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of gives itself away when it says television promo. And I mean, there's a wide variety of things that get done with promos, but for the most part, it is stuck with the old standard of the visual for the show and the voice actor in the background telling you what's going to be coming up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do we want to deliver this in a fast-paced way, or shall we take our time?
Or does it depend on who's reading?
Well, I wouldn't say rush through it, but at the same time, it needs to have energy. I mean, you're
Mhm.
talking about the Extreme Summer Sports Network. So you want to be
Yeah.
energetic and happy and, hey, man, I know you want to try jumping off the roof and breaking your legs, neck, and arms at the same time.
So try watching somebody else do it.
Or
I
watching
go
somebody
back to
else do
Steve
it
Irwin
because
again
you're
on the
too busy
energetic read.
sitting in your wheelchair.
Jesus Christ. It got quite dark really fast.
Yeah, a little bit of dark humor there. Mm. Too much Stranger of Paradise. Die.
I have a DVD documentary called Murder Ball, which is about wheelchair
Oh my god.
rugby,
Lord.
whatever it
Okay.
is.
Voiceover.
What the fuck?
It's actually
I
a
know there's
really
one
good
where they
movie,
play
so I
basketball.
It's a
recommend
good-
it.
They're pretty hostile. They'll push each other out of the chair. I mean,
Roller derby in a different way.
Mhm.
Horrible
Growing up in the
days.
70s just does things.
Oh, and what's the worst that's going to happen? You end up in a wheelchair.
I mean,
Ooh. To those of us watching live, yep, this is us.
It's just, it's fine. It's the usual. Without Mike, we are even more chaotic than normal. Yes.
Yeah, he tends to keep us on course a little more.
Back
So
on course.
anyway, before we
Anyway.
stray too far, do we want to
Yes.
babble on some more about
Yes, about the
non sequiturs, or shall
yeah,
we
the terms,
move on?
the key things that are here,
Mhm.
because that's the whole other thing about this thing is knowing where to emphasize things. I mean, you are doing a promo, and if you drop energy in the wrong place, it's really going to come off wrong.
I mean, one place definitely that I imagine we will need to hit the mark is on the name of the network.
Of course.
Extreme Summer Sports Network, I imagine.
probably
Yeah.
on the tonight as well, because you're highlighting when and then where.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and I'd say with a network name like that, more than likely there's some kind of emphasis they want in there,
So focus on the
especially that punch
extreme
on it.
summer.
Maybe not too much of a punch, but a punch on Extreme Summer Sports Network, something like that. That don't go all William Shatner like I just did, but
Go pro wrestling announcer.
Oh God, that's so good.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Sunday.
oh, Larry Supermouth Huffman, yeah.
Listen, brother, you gotta be on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Eat your vitamins.
Come on,
Kid, it
Aquaman,
doesn't have to be like
you
that.
want this?
Trying to do a Macho Man impression, yeah, I could. You can tell who I'm doing, but my voice is thrashed after.
Yeah,
show me.
that's the one thing I would not recommend. If it's going, and this is a little side note, and we'll get right back into this, but if it's going to trash your voice, don't. Okay,
Mhm.
there's ways to
Oh,
work
yeah, no,
with your
definitely.
soft palate to make sure you can do that and not hurt yourself. If it starts to hurt, back off from it because it can damage you in ways that can be permanent.
Just not in the when it's not in the vocal range. If it's something
Yeah.
like that, what is it, Clint Eastwood or Louis Armstrong? Just have to stay away from it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's stuff that sounds like it's not in my vocal range, but at the same time, with the proper mic placement and the proper way of pitching your voice, you can
Yes, that's what I have to learn.
lower or deeper. I mean, I've done the voice of God, so it took some training to make that work,
Yeah.
especially for me because I talk like a kid. And I'm very comfortable talking like a kid. So, And when I have a big, thick white beard, that looks hilarious. I sound like a 12-year-old with a beard glued on.
Of course, I'm an adult. I'm trying to buy alcohol.
Oh my god.
Yeah, me, I don't drink, but at the same time, I got carded for root beer. I look so young. So, son, I need to see your ID. This is root beer, lady. Anyway,
Anyway, shall we
yes.
head back up to the top of the order, or do we have more?
Yeah, I think
Questions
we
that
pretty
need
much
to be
got this pretty
answered.
cut and dried. I mean, the one thing is like, okay, it's a very simple piece of copy, but at the same time, you know how simple pieces of copy can be deceptively simple. And by the time you get in the middle of your read, suddenly it's like, whoa, did I just lose that much energy on that one word?
Yeah, but like every time when you like really get down on a script, on a copy, it gets increasingly more and more complicated as you add layers upon layers of stuff to remind you about and stuff.
I mean, okay.
So are we trying to read this fast? I was kind of not around during some of the discussion.
Not rush it, but yeah. Like I mean, it says in the very short direction to be energetic and upbeat. So
How many seconds?
Well, I would say this is probably a 30-second spot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is not too many words for a 30-second spot,
So then it's not fast at all.
especially if
That's
it's,
all.
if it,
But
my thing is when you're reading, if you're reading for a 30-second spot, you don't have to be the FedEx commercial guy to read for it.
What's the FedEx commercial guy?
Okay, back in the day when I was much younger, there was a commercial with a guy, the Micro Machines guy.
oh, okay. See,
He
that's
also
why.
did FedEx.
That's what I
commercials.
was gonna say. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the guy could talk faster than somebody doing an auction. I mean, he was good. But you don't got to be him to be able to do a 30-second spot.
Oh,
You can
okay.
be steady paced, you can be upbeat, energetic, and still be able to manage to put these words into 30 seconds. You know, I mean, we're not going to put a timer on you or anything like that, you know, unless somebody feels the need to. But really, you should be able to fit something like this in under 30 seconds, especially with the kind of spot it is.
So what I'm hearing is this really doesn't need to be fast, but you probably don't want it to be slow.
No, you definitely don't
no,
want to be
definitely
something
not
like
slow.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be Ben Stein with a piece of copy like this. You know? Ever wanted to know what it was like to go flying through the
Unless you're
air on
Ben
a
Stein.
dirt bike for a living? No, it's just
That sounds great. I'll tune into that.
It's so out of place. It's hilarious.
It's very much dirt
Show me
bikes.
Ben
Wow.
Stein.
Dirt bike.
I mean, if it's Ben Stein, then sure, he can be Ben Stein. But aside from that, no.
He got the voice, but not the enthusiasm.
Yeah, but boys, it got him some roles. So,
Just goes to show that that pretty much any voice can actually do something in this industry.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like the old school mindset of you have to have a deep voice. Not really. Anyway, so I think we have pretty much nailed down the discussion portion as to how we need to read this, you know, and mostly in following the directions of being upbeat, energetic, but pace yourself because you don't need to just be trying to fly through this because, oh God, I'm going to hit the end of that 30 seconds and the words aren't going to fit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I just did while we were going, I did a quick like just conversational speed read through, and
Mhm.
I don't think I hit 20 seconds. So we've got time to chew through. We've got time to play with this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
you're
also
seeing
thought about the
spot.
same 20 seconds. Yeah.
How do you draw the line between upbeat and energetic and in your face announcery? Where's the
In
line?
your face announcery goes off into
And
that
so-
that
Yeah, it's
you-
kind of like, hey guys, check this out, as opposed to like, hey guys, I saw this really cool thing. You guys should look at it.
yeah, or the
Yeah,
old
it's-
classic and
The inner world.
yeah,
Where
that
you
one
wanted
right
to know
there.
what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a
Yeah,
living.
or ever wanted to know what it was like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and the candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. You know, now that is classic announcery right there, but you can lean in that direction and not know it.
Yeah,
It's a
Oh,
bit more
definitely.
reading, a lot more robotic.
but the way it's
Especially
written, it's like if you go announcery, it's okay, but it just doesn't have to be there. So it's almost like
Yeah,
if you did read it that way, it could still be a potentially good read.
I read it however you want, and the rest of us will tell you if it works or not.
yeah. I mean,
The worst that could
and-
happen is if it's too energetic, then it's easier to drop it back down than to bring it up.
You think of the target audience for this are the people who they watch extreme sports. They love the skating, surfing, careening down a mountain with your hair on fire kind of stuff. So
Very specific. he
So
knows.
it's
He knows something.
That's what I was going to do.
and what grabs their interest is that energetic,
No.
upbeat.
No, might I suggest
you almost have
we
that
are like,
feel of one of them.
yeah, we're like 40 minutes past the hour. How about starting?
Let's get started. Good idea. Sorry, I wasn't keeping an eye on the time.
Yeah, to be fair, we are not many today, so I think it
Yeah.
would be.
Not many, and
It's
it
fine.
is a short piece of copy, so I think we'll be okay. But
That's good.
okay, well, let's get this party started with the after the discussion portion, the directed reads.
By the way, Alice, are you participating now? the
Yeah.
weather-
Oh wait. Oh, Ellis. Sorry.
Alice, yeah,
What's up?
I'm fine, Liz. I know you're there. It's fine.
Yeah. Yes.
You're okay.
No, I was saying yes because Liz had shouted my name very energetically. Like, I need to tell you something. I'm like, what's going on? Oh god, I get really stressed. But yeah, what's going on?
Tell
No,
Nick
I
you're ready
was-
for the copy.
Yeah, if you were going to participate.
I might participate in giving feedback, but I don't think I'm gonna read today. I'm just not really feeling it.
Okay, it's
Okay.
fine.
Maybe take it away, Liz.
Right. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Opposite lifetime. Yeah, it sounded like you were getting ready to announce one of those Lifetime movies or something like that. It went off into a different genre altogether.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was.
It wasn't bad. It just didn't
Yeah.
fit the copy.
Like the thing.
Yeah, that was not extreme summer sports.
Yeah,
No.
that was the.
Her
I don't know if you
boyfriend
guys
left
seen
her
it.
for a surfboard.
The Spy Birdhouse. It's exactly like that. Where it's like, have you,
Birds.
everybody watches birds, and it's like I need to find this commercial. It's like the most calming thing about this birdhouse where you spy on birds in it, and I can't like. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of what she says in this thing. And with a protective two-way mirror, the birds can't see you or something like that. It's that kind of vibe I'm getting.
Infomercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. But question for you though. What's something, is there like a show or something that you watch often or that you really enjoy?
Choking. That's the show.
Lubricate?
Sorry.
It's fine, Liz. Take your time.
Yeah.
I think they might be
Okay,
suppressing
okay.
a sneeze or something.
No, it's something got caught in the middle of here.
It's
Cinnamon. When she
Take
broke,
whatever
it just
time you
kind of-
need.
Exactly.
Okay. I watched The Owl House, but I'm not very impassioned about the show as much.
Okay, but still, like, try to still, if say you're talking to somebody who's never heard of the show before, you know, ever wanted to know what it's like to be transported into another world and be taken under the wing by some mysterious witch with a talking staff?
Hmm.
Like, try to have a similar kind of, I'm excited to tell you about this, but I have not had 6 shots of caffeine.
Okay.
But no, like the first one, at least to me, and feel free, like this is only my second read through, so feel free to, shoot me down or whatever. But yeah, like everyone else was saying, it felt like it was a solid read for a movie on Lifetime Network.
Just missed the
Yeah.
target. It's fine.
The direction I'm tempted to give is read it like you're a sportscaster.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Should I go ahead or is there anything else?
Go for it.
Take it away.
Okay. Woo! Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay.
That was
I'm
very
liking this one
energetic.
a lot more.
The only thing that went wrong was dirt bike
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
because it sounded like a bike made of dirt. So, you got to watch that. Use dirt bike as all one word. I know it's got a space in there because of the way the copy's written, but it's just dirt bike.
Like as is, it kind of sounds like somebody had made a bike out of dirt and you were super surprised by that.
Which, I mean, that is a feat in and of
I
itself.
mean, yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
It makes sense
That
that you would be surprised if that were the case, but that's not what's going on.
This Midwestern farmer made a bike out of dirt.
Florida
His dirt
man
bike is great.
makes bike out of dirt.
Like I can yeah, like that it really sounds it comes across as very confused. It's like on a dirt bike?
Okay,
That's
so
what I got.
put it
Maybe
down.
put a dash of emphasis on the word dirt more than the word bike
Yeah.
and mush them a little more together.
Okay, so okay. Right. Is there any other critiques or would it be take 3?
I think it's definitely moving in the right direction. The energy is more
Totally feeling
frantic
this one a
than
lot more than the
upbeat.
first.
Yeah.
But the energy
Frantic.
is in the right, is closer to the right,
Yeah.
is more sports, less Lifetime, which is what I think we were all looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think we got out of sports and into Cartoon Network.
No, it was well, I heard sports, but I heard more from a fan's perspective. Like
I think
an
I think it
excited
kinda
fan
works
more than
given
the
the whole,
sportscaster, so.
extreme sports. I feel like if it were just like a football game or something, then this would be way too much. But I think it's a lot more acceptable given that this is like the extreme kind of whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go with the tractor poles. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Okay.
Well, maybe not that much.
All right. Hey! Ah! You ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
I liked it, except for there was too much space in between after you said dirt bike and then for a living. Everything else I like. I just
Okay,
tighten
so
up that
shorten-
little part.
Yeah,
Shorten the
that was
pause.
too long of a pause there.
My aside from that, my only thing is one man, one bike. I think could use a little more variation, but that's really it. I really like this one.
Actually come from. Can you hear me okay? Am I coming through all right?
Oh,
you
here
need
it
to-
is.
We hear you, but
Turn
you're,
up your gain just
turn
a
up a little.
bit more.
Gain going up, or at least I'm trying. Let's see. Testing 1 2. Testing. How am I?
I hear no change.
You hear no change whatsoever.
Now I'm
Now
hearing
it's
change.
now
Okay,
it's
now
good.
you
Oh,
now
you're
a little
good.
louder.
You're good.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Too loud? Am I
Nope.
too loud? Okay.
You're good.
If I was your teacher, maybe.
Shocking, a little rude, but
You're taking that,
fine.
Michael.
No, so
Arrest the
one thing that I
clock.
noticed, the thing that really stuck out to me here is, and this is something that I heard from the other takes that you did. I was listening in. I was one of the people on YouTube. Hi, everybody there.
Oh, hey.
It's you emphasize one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. So you put way too much emphasis on a word that's repeating. It doesn't need
Okay.
the emphasis. The word that's repeating isn't what's important. One man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends.
So emphasize man, bike, and candid.
Or do yes, move the emphasis away from one. So it doesn't
Okay.
need to be one man, one bike, and candid interviews. One man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends.
Okay.
So let's see if that changes up the read a little bit.
Okay. Let's go. Okay. You ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay. What did everybody think of that one?
That was
Man, I
good.
wish I had like 1% of Leeds like body energy. Like I'm just just immobile. She has so much fun instead. But I think it was I think it was pretty good.
Mhm.
I don't know if we nailed the one man, one bike and candid interviews. What do you think, Mike?
Well, that didn't really stick out to me as any kind of a problem. So,
Okay.
I think it turned out okay. Anybody have any other insights? Any other input? Anything? No. Okay. Well, it looks like you nailed it then.
Third time the charm.
That's usually the way that it works. It's generally you generally iron it out by the first two.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I wasn't here to see what order everybody was reading in. So who's up next?
Justin.
Yeah.
Justin.
All
right, Justin, go for it.
Next. Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like? Ever want to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
For the most part, I liked it. I'm gonna say the same thing about dirt bike. It is one word. I feel like you should tighten that up just a tiny bit. Maybe lose a tiny bit of that emphasis. And then Extreme Summer Sports Network. I think that could work. It just does not do it for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Maybe use the last line first, just to because I like your excitement, like
Yeah.
the last two lines or so.
Yeah, you needed to start off with that same energy that you use for Extreme Summer Sports Network? Because it started off and it was going just a little bit slower paced, and then you ramped it up a little bit.
So the transition is what, too abrupt?
Really needs that much energy behind it from the start.
Okay.
As
Yeah,
is,
and
it's kind of not even abrupt. It's just like
And then
jarring.
sustain it.
Yeah,
So-
it sounded at the start at least like an accountant trying to be a sportscaster.
Wow. that paints a picture. Damn, man.
Ben Stein thing. There we go. It was the Ben Stein thing. So
Hmm.
Have fun with it.
I need to watch more Ben Stein to understand these references.
Bueller,
Bueller.
Fry.
Okay, so
Well, you can
Sure.
always use the tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network as a lead-in, and then take it from the top.
okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so should I give it another go?
Yeah, go
Okay.
for it.
Okay. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network, ever want to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
You're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't hearing the accountant anymore.
I just fixed the part where you're saying dirt bike and then there's a little too much of a pause for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, the for a living lost its energy. But other than that, I thought it was not bad.
So the whole idea behind that first sentence is you're setting up a ridiculous situation for somebody to think about. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? You know, like flying through the air on a dirt bike is a ridiculous thing in and of itself that probably not everybody has done. You know, unlike standing up and walking. I'm sure the vast majority of human beings have done that and understand what that's like, or picked something up or had something to eat. You know, these are all mundane, normal things we do every day. Go to work, drive back home from work, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But fly through the air on a dirt bike. Now that's a unique experience.
Mhm.
So ever wanted to know what it was like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike?
Not in a dream or a nightmare, but
Yeah.
actually doing it.
So
Oh,
you're
but
setting up
you're
the
getting
first
paid
ridiculous
for it?
situation, flying through the air on a dirt bike, and then the second ridiculous situation for a living. Can you imagine actually making your money off of doing that? Every single day you're flying through the air on a dirt bike?
Yeah.
Except when
that's-
you're in the hospital.
Well,
And
yeah,
keep in mind that near the end, he's talking about his paramedic. They're talking about his paramedic friends. I mean, that's kind of a joke right there. Don't lose the joke.
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
The journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. I'm sure that a lot of people have friends, but like not everybody has friends who are paramedics, you know, particularly from their job, unless they work as a paramedic, but you know, that's boring.
What the fuck? All our like paramedic viewers are just unsubscribed. I can't believe it.
I mean, how can you even argue with
Well,
that?
okay,
though?
so
Like,
here's
what
what I
story are you
mean.
gonna tell?
But then what I mean is like, you know, if you work as a paramedic, you have paramedic friends and interviews with them is, you know, it's a dime a dozen. You could tell all the same stories that they do, but not
Yeah.
not this.
The evil Knievel being not just knowing the guy that's promoting, but he's in probably first name basis with all the doctors and nurse. Well, the nurse guy.
Yeah,
So
orthopedic
meanwhile, do we
surgeon
have more
really knows the
directions for
guy.
Justin?
So anyway, so again, this is the whole point of that beginning sentence is you're setting up the ridiculous situation, and then you're saying how you're going to actually experience that. You know, watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. So what you really want to do I mean, you're trying to hook somebody's attention from the very beginning. You're trying to give them that reason to pay attention to you, and then you're paying it off with the end of it. So you're telling them a little bit more about what's going to be happening. So the whole idea of it is to just be happy and excited to sort of, guide a listener through all of this. So really try to pay attention to that, why you're saying what it is that you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So go ahead, give it a try from the top whenever you're ready.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network, everyone to know what it's like. Everyone to know what it's. Everyone to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living. Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
All right, opening it up. What did everybody think? Whoa, slow down now. Not everybody at once. Not everybody at once.
I would suggest taking it a little slower there. That would help with the stumbling at the start. And also, it felt like the Extreme Summer Sports Network got highlighted a little too much, to the point where it almost makes you, where it overshadows everything else.
Yeah.
Maybe there's too much of a punch in energy on the name of the network.
Yeah, so we definitely need to define where the concepts are in that one. So there's extreme is one concept, summer sports is another concept, and network. That's where your breaks should logically be. The Extreme Summer Sports Network. And also, when you ask the question for a living at the very beginning, your energy completely dies. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? You at least end off on a mid note, at least keep the energy going throughout the whole thing. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Just keep the energy the same. Don't dip in it, because you're really going to kill your performance that way. And it's difficult to recover from something like that. So watch your energy right there, and I think you'll probably be at the right spot for the rest of it. Because I think because what you're doing is you're at a certain energy level, then you dip down for that question, and then you have to try to rise back up to it. And like we've experienced before, trying to push your energy up is a lot more difficult than trying to bring it back down from going high. So try not to drop it. Just try to keep your energy level throughout the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I thought the idea was to give it some contrast, because they're.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to contrast your energy. You don't want to contrast the excitement, because again, if you go too low, if you start dropping in your energy, if you're dropping in that personal excitement that you should be having for this, it's really difficult to recover from that.
Okay.
So give it a try.
Okay. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network, everyone to know what it's like. Everyone to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living. Everyone to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living. Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, you got through that much cleaner now. At least towards the end of it. Let's go ahead and put it all together. Just go ahead and give us one more take with the same energy, same everything. Go for it.
From the top?
From the top.
Okay. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network, ever want to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Tell me, does this script make you uncomfortable? Or does it feel like it's out of your comfort zone?
For me, this script, just a little stretching of things I normally say in my little stretch of my normal excitement about things.
Okay. So again, I was hoping that you'd be able to carry the energy all the way through, but you kept dying on For a Living. Like you kept dropping really, really low. And I could tell that it was really affecting your read. And I could also tell that you were really kind of overthinking it a little bit while going into it. That's why you had to do the retakes over and over again. At least I'm assuming that that's why. If I'm incorrect, please correct me, but that's kind of what it seemed like. You wanted to make sure that you were going to hit that properly. But that's something that I would really like you to watch, to be really careful for. Don't drop what you were doing. When you start off strong, continue strong. Again, we don't want to have I heard that change both times. I heard that change this last time much worse than the previous time. So ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Does that sound exciting when you go down on it?
My suggestion for Justin, not necessarily for anyone else, would be to remove the dash.
Yeah,
So
you know
no
what?
pause.
Just no pause. Just go right through it. Yeah,
On
give
a
that a
dirt
try.
bike for a living.
Okay.
And also, this time you emphasize bike as though the bike being made out of dirt is something incredibly weird, which I mean, it is, but it's wrong context.
Yeah, okay.
Make it a little personal, a little more personal, like something that you want to hear about, or maybe if, like in my example, it's like a teacher that it's a subject that you can't stand, but the teacher's so good with people that he just makes it sound very interesting, or she.
Well, you see, there's the thing that's a little bit. There's a few extra layers of acting that I don't think really need to be done here. The main thing that we're looking for is just not dropping on For a Living. Like that's the one thing that we want to get away from, because everything after that starts really picking up, particularly with Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Like you've got a really, really good delivery on that. But what we want to do is we want to just make sure that you stay strong in your delivery through the whole thing from beginning to end. So let's just start by getting rid of that dash. We're going to get rid of the spot, the space there altogether. Just read it all the way through. Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay. Wait for the annoying train to run away first. All right.
You don't hear an annoying train, so you can go ahead anytime.
Oh, okay. It's pretty loud on my end. Okay. Tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network, ever want to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
I would say that if you slowed that down just a little bit, you'd probably be right on where you need to be.
Yeah, I think it is miles better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, losing the dash definitely helped it a lot.
100%. 100%.
I
Yeah,
think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good to move along. But yeah, the main thing is when you have a high energy script, or when you have a script that requires you to be in sort of that higher energy mindset, you want to avoid using down notes as emphases, at least at the ends of sentences or in places where things will logically break, because that's when you kind of gear your mind into turning down the energy, which is what we don't want. Or in this case, excitement. We don't want to turn down the excitement much in this. So yeah, getting rid of the dash and getting rid of the space with that For a Living, you could easily have just in post cut that. It would have sounded absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think we got a solid read for you there. All right, who's up
Thank you.
next?
Me.
After Justin is me. Go ahead, me.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yes. No. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
All right, opening it up. What did everybody think?
I'm vibing with it. I just want it slowed down a tiny bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's really
Hey.
all that's jumping out at me.
Yeah, just adjust the pacing just a little bit.
Yeah. Agreed.
Hold on to
Yeah,
that energy, though. Please,
Yeah, I
think
hold
we're
on
kinda-
to that energy.
Unless I missed something while I stepped away, I think we are kind of assuming like a 30-second window. So we've got
Yeah.
plenty of time to
Yes.
play with.
Okay, I'll slow it down.
All right, whenever you're ready, go for it.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
I think it was golden.
It was made for TV,
Thank you.
which is fine because I mean, look,
Yes, Nathan.
as a guy who gets paid to put this stuff on the air, I know
Uh-huh.
that would definitely pass.
Mm.
You know,
So.
just
I-
for fun. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ellis.
I was gonna say, I was thinking because I was like, maybe I heard it wrong, but I've been replaying it in my head, and I think this is what I heard. I didn't hear Extreme Summer Sports Network. I heard Extreme Summer Sports Network, which is
Okay.
fine, but like it does something in my brain, and I just can you please?
Okay.
We got an extreme summer.
So, so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
The Extreme
I'm-
Summer Sports Network.
I'm gonna
Thank
say
you.
I'm gonna let you know, or I'm gonna ask you. Sorry for this read to have a little bit more fun with it. Pour on some of the syrup. Make it a little bit more syrupy. Let's see what that does to the read. Just for fun. We'll see if it changes things up a little bit.
Okay. Well, we'll see if it works or not.
Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay. What did everybody think of that one?
It
almost-
almost felt like something I would hear on a kids channel.
Okay.
I mean, it just kind of not cartoony in any way, but it leaned in the direction of sounding like you were talking to anybody from the age of 8 to 13. Which in
That's
an odd
actually
sort
very
of way
useful for
actually
me to
sounded
know.
it sounded like it would literally, I mean, not so much for a sports channel where Bubba's watching, but the other channel that Bubba's kid is watching.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that may not necessarily be a bad thing, considering who is generally the accepted audience of, summer sports, I suppose,
Yeah.
extreme summer
The
sports.
extreme stuff.
I felt that, and maybe that has something to do with the fact that I'm a child. But I mean, I was vibing with it. I felt it.
Who's the youngest one here? Hmm?
Well, Ellis, would you prefer this last read or the one before it?
I felt like this one was my favorite. I just like
Okay.
listening to you guys
Yeah.
talk. It makes me very happy.
Okay, so it spoke to an audience of your age as well. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
totes.
Well, okay. Well, then adding in some of the extra syrup probably helped it out.
Who here is in broadcasting outside of myself? Just myself.
It looks like you're alone in this room, Nathan. Sorry.
For now, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
have
mean,
lofty
I
aspirations.
get it. See, one part of me understands why this stuff is done the way it's done, from the demographics and all of that stuff, the focus groups.
Well, again, this is we got to consider who this is really going to be targeting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
normally, it's funny when I think of this kind of script, I think of my brother way back. I'm not even going to say how long ago, just a long time ago. He was really, really into rollerblading and really into dirt bikes and really into this kind of stuff. He loved, one of the names that keeps popping up in my head is Travis Pastrana. He followed these people constantly and loved
Yeah.
that stuff. So I think of my brother when I think of this stuff, and I think of the commercials and whatnot that got him excited for these things. Did have a nice little helping of syrup here and there to help it, to sort of appeal to that kind of demographic a little bit more,
Yeah.
that age of demographic kind, excuse me, a little bit more. So yeah, keep up the fun. Let's get one more take, because we've definitely got time. Let's give it one more take. Keep up the fun, slow it down just a little bit, and let's see if we can hit closer to the 30-second mark.
Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. The Extreme Summer Sports Network.
You lost some of that personal excitement that I was hearing before.
Okay.
Turn that up a little bit more smile, a little bit more. Hey, ever wanted to know what it's like? Like,
Okay.
take off the headphones too. Give that a try.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay. The only thing that really stuck out to me that I would have you do differently is and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends rather than and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
I think we are going to be in a bit of a time crunch, so I suggest moving on.
Okay, well, let's get some quick impressions and then we'll move on. Got
There
it,
are
real
none.
quick. Let's go. Who's up
There
next?
are none. There are only dead jokes now. There is nothing else.
Oh, don't tempt me. Who's up next?
Nathan is next.
Nathan. All right, whenever you're ready,
Okay.
go for it.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
All right, interested to see if anybody caught what I did. Opening it up. What did you all think?
I noticed you made my same mistake. One man, one bike.
That is exactly what it is that I noticed.
Got you.
One
Anybody
man,
else?
one bike, and candid interviews.
I would slow things down overall, especially at the start. And your for a living was actually at a significantly slower pace than the stuff that came before and after.
Okay.
And go higher on for a living.
Did you say go higher?
Yeah, so you went flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living.
Okay.
No, go higher with it.
Okay. Hey, ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
That was a good tone overall, except you kind of did the opposite of what we were asking. You sped it up even more, and you still hit the one man, one bike in the list. Again, one man, one bike. Because it's being repeated, it's not important. I mean, people are going to get it.
You know what?
And
I'm actually watching the comma. Doggone it. I'm watching the
Well, here's the thing, though. It's funny because you're watching that punctuation, but you missed the dash. You dashed right through the dash. Like
I hit
it
the
just didn't
dash
exist.
button. I'm gone.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly.
All right. Hey, ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living?
Slow down,
Watch-
slow down, slow down.
Hey, ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think of that one?
I don't know if it's just me, but he sped through one man, one bike this time.
He did. Yeah. Now, is that
there's a
a
certain-
negative or is that a positive? How do you feel about that? Did it help the script or did it hinder the script?
I mean, I don't think I had a particular issue with it, mainly because I think it was a way to avoid the quote unquote listing one man, one bike.
That's true.
I don't think it was like any issue, but it was noticeable though. That it's true.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about it, but I'm leaning more towards it's not helping the script.
Yeah.
I understand why you did it, and I believe me, I don't blame you for doing it that way. But something tells me that in an actual session, the client would probably ask you to retake that line.
The one thing that stuck out to me was the "for a living" felt really belabored, like overemphasized.
I was thinking, I was kind of expecting from the length of the pause that you were envisioning maybe somebody being like, not really for a living, but I think it overstepped that just a tiny bit.
Okay, so we tried you going up in energy for a living. Let's scrap that idea. We'll go with keep the same energy, keep it within the same emotional range.
All right. Hey, ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, a little fast, but all in all, a good delivery. If you can slow that down, you'd probably you would probably be right where you need to be. There we go.
Hey.
I can English, I swear. Sorry. Go ahead.
know.
Go ahead.
Hey, ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living?
That's
Watch our
not
series.
going any
You're going
slower.
faster now.
Going faster.
You're going faster.
Slow it down like 20%.
Drain off some of that caffeine.
There you go. Yeah.
Put a cork in it. All right. Hey, ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Of course, I would forget to unmute myself. You got into it at the end, but you're still starting off too fast. I think starting with hey is just is starting off on the wrong foot. You're heading off on a sprint and then slowing down to a comfortable jog. We want you
Okay.
starting off with a comfortable jog and going with that all the way through.
You're watching the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Ever wanted to know? You're watching the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
You know what? I think that actually worked.
I
I think of
concur.
the reads that we've gotten so far, that's been the most solid. That's been the easiest to follow along with, because not only was the energy there, but the tone was slow enough for us to be able to follow along with what's happening.
Yes, all those years of doing actual promos works.
You see, but the thing is I knew that we were really getting there because again, at the latter half of the script, you were in that mode. Like you were in the right
Yeah.
pace, the right tone, everything like that. We just needed to get you started off with that, and giving
Thank you
yourself a longer lead in helped.
Thank you so much for that direction, because that's what hit my head was you're watching the Extreme Summer Sports Network, because it may or may not be there, but in any given situation, there will be some kind of a bumper somewhere, and if you're at the top of the hour in television, there's an ID spot. That ID spot will come, and then there'll be that commercial right on the back end of it.
Mhm.
So there we go.
Well, again, this particular promo, at least this particular read, definitely worked. But we're definitely gonna have to hit promos up again. So
Oh, we're gonna have to hit them up.
yeah. So who's up next? We move
I
along
believe
to.
it's my turn.
All right, my turn. Go for it.
All right. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
So that was a very technically good delivery, but it felt like it would work better on the Home and Garden Network rather than the Extreme Summer Sports Network,
I
or
feel like
on
that's going to be a running thing for me.
or on like like the Hallmark Channel or something like that. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living?
Yeah.
You know,
I think
no, seriously though, I would give you the exact opposite direction. That just forewarning, the dad jokes are not going to stop, or at least where I can make them, I'm going to make them. But I would give you the exact opposite direction that I gave Nathan. Start off faster. Give yourself a quicker lead in. Like, hey, just a quick something like that, and attack the script. Go at it with some energy, with some more. I keep defaulting to using energy. I don't want to say that word over and over again.
Marcus,
Excitement. That's it. Let's try to get some more
I'm,
excitement.
I'm actually going to
Do you
disagree with that. I felt like it was just like Nathan, too fast there in the first line, and then it settled into something that was pretty close to perfect.
See, I don't necessarily disagree with you on that. What I'm talking about is the emotional tone. The emotional tone is too subdued.
Okay.
Marcus. So I think in examples, and what I think of when I see this script is a frat guy who just went out, got some new White Claws. He's heading back to the frat house. That's what I kind of want. That's what I would like to see.
Looks like you're.
All right. There's a very specific
Nathan
image that
is-
popped up. Whew, okay. Sorry. What were you saying, Rob?
No, it's okay. Just go ahead.
Okay. All right. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
All right, opening it up. How frat boy was that one?
Well, like I said, it depending on the person who's delivering the copy for the speed, I think it works with it being fast. I think it works with how you deliver it. So.
Yeah. Now, being that it's a 30-second spot, they would have to find a way to fit that in and pad it out with something beginning and end, because I am almost certain that you know, at that pacing it was coming in well under 30. But
Mhm.
Oh, definitely.
I did feel a lot more personal investment. I don't think it reached
Mhm.
quite the levels of a frat boy coming home with White Claws to share with the bros, but whatever.
Oh God.
But
I
no,
would like to hear it.
I definitely felt a lot more personal investment in this one, and I preferred it so much.
I would like to hear it 20% slower and just see what happens.
All right. Same energy level, but try to drag it out a little more.
Yeah, and off with the headphones.
I'm not even on the video, and you could tell.
Oh, come on. Come on.
oh yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Hey, whatever you do in the booth, it shows up in your read. We
All
can
right.
hear.
You can't hide this
everything.
from me. You can't hide it from me.
All right.
You
All
can
right.
be picking your nose and we'll know it.
Anyway, let's get to the read. Headphones off. Give it to us.
All right. Headphones off. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Oh, you slowed down the second half.
Yeah, I
was gonna say-
realized it as I was reading.
And
That's
Dan
what
rule,
it sounded
Dan rule
like.
violation. Dan
no
rule
Dan rule
violation right
violation.
there.
Yeah. I'd say just, I love the second half. The first half was too fast. I'd say slow down the first half and give us another read.
Okay. Off with the headphones. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, give it a moment for the headphones to come back on. Okay, so give for a living a little bit more space. You're introducing the concept well. Again, the ever wanted to know what it was like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike? Give it just a hair's, just a little bit more space, tad bit more of a break. For a living, let that
Okay.
have a little bit more impact. Other
Okay.
than that, everything else is fantastic. Don't change anything else. Just give for a living a little bit more room.
Okay. All right. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think of that one?
I
You?
don't know how I want to say this sentence.
I can take it.
That's nothing. It's not anything bad. It's just like I have the idea in my head. I just don't know how to phrase it in a way that would make sense to anyone but me.
Can you phrase it in a way that makes sense to you?
I
Yeah,
can
you never
try
know.
real
I'm pretty mentally flexible.
Okay, so actually, I could do it. So, do you want me to call you K or Marcus or just K Marcus or what
Either K or Marcus. That's more
Okay,
of
cool.
more of like a display thing, because my actual first name is, people trip over it all the time and it's annoying.
All right, cool. So, K, you said you have theater experience, right?
Mhm.
Cool, because that makes this so much easier. So, for a living, I think it's still a tiny bit too close, and I feel like that personal investment does kind of drop a tiny bit there. What I would say is, have you seen or performed in a show where the line gets interrupted or it's supposed to get interrupted? I feel like you should look at it like that. Like you're asking the question, do you know what it's like to go flying through the air? And then you can see somebody about to say something, and you're like, "Yep, for a living."
Okay.
That's what I want to see. But as is, I did like it. Like, don't take that to mean like, yes, because that's not what I'm thinking. I liked it. Yeah.
So, because and let me make sure I'm trying to understand the metaphor right. It's
Yeah.
kind of a thing of like I'm going, everyone wanted to know what it's like to blah 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 blah, and then
Yeah.
the response that I'm cutting off is something along the lines of, "Oh, people do that all the
It's like-
time.
Yeah,
People do
it's
that
like-
all the time for free for a living."
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting at. That's what I would like to see very much.
Okay, I can wrap my mind around that.
I got there in the end.
No, that's good. That's good.
Hey, it
That's good.
was really good direction.
And that's
Thank you,
why,
everyone, for giving me your good vibes and believing in me. I appreciate it.
of course. Quick aside on that. That's why I always encourage anybody to go ahead and give us any kind of feedback, because it starts somewhere. It really does. It starts somewhere. And if you can get your thoughts to words, all the more power to you. It happened here, so do that. Give that person the but wait, there's more moment.
I will try my best to ignore the spirit of Billy Mays.
No, we don't want you yelling in the microphone. Just
Hi, Billy. Anyway,
The power of a dirt bike.
all right, let's give it one more go then. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
I hate saying this, but Ellis gave you such good direction for you to not follow. Like you blew right through it again.
I did?
Yeah, in fact, you blew right through it worse than you did before. You didn't give it
Really?
much space to really react to the person.
Yeah,
Or
you
do
speed
you-
it up again too.
Yeah, you did. It was. I think we probably spent a little bit too much time between the delivery and your the directions and your performance, because your performance dropped in the quality that we had from before. Yeah, give yourself more room there.
Yeah, I
All
thought
right.
your
Flying through
previous
the air
read
like a
was
dirt
darn
bike.
near perfect.
Yeah, it was really close. We just wanted that little bit of gap there, and you actually cut the gap out. And
Even more.
yeah.
Oh, curse my Chicagoland upbringing.
So take a breath, give yourself a second, give yourself a little bit of a longer lead in, and then go for it again. And remember, for a living.
Right.
And if you want to say that too, you can even cut that out and just silence it.
Okay. Trying not to violate the Dan rule. Okay. Hey, at least I'm catching myself. All right. Let me give it one more go before and let the rest of the people talk too. All right. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay, I'm opening it up. What everybody think of that one?
I think this is like a 99 out of 100. And I can't really pinpoint what it is, but it feels just the tiniest bit off.
I think it's good enough.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I thought it
This
sounded
is-
pretty good as well.
this is dang great.
Yeah,
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I'm going to come at this with a television mindset. A producer would say, "Hey, this is good. We'll send you the check."
I thought there was more. There was not.
and then they'll use your other take.
Ouch.
No, it's
Hey,
it's
it happens,
unfortunately
my
true.
friend.
It's-
It does. I've been
it's
listening to the
unfortunately
other
true.
take for 6 years.
We do
But-
need to move on.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move along. Again, we were really, really close. I think with some of the previous ones, we could probably go ahead and edit in a longer break there to make it sound more natural. But yeah, that's definitely going to be something we have to work on. So who's up next? Let's see.
Mateo.
me.
Mateo, go for it.
I love how he says my name. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
All right, opening it up. What did everybody think?
I noticed that the excitement kind of died off right at the end. I think this you might need to put a little post life there.
Yeah, I
Just
heard that too.
something. But and then this felt a little bit announcery to me. Or
Mhm.
it felt a little it felt more announcery than I think would work. I think just dialing that back a tiny bit, because I was getting something of a, what was it like? What I'm trying to think of an example. Whatever. I just got kind of like
Sunday, come see the dirt bikes.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
something
got
like
sort
that.
of this kind of deal here. Yeah. But
Mhm.
that's yeah. I swear
Okay.
I can talk. I promise. I read scripts all the time.
It's fine, Alice. You know I love you.
Anybody else? Does anybody else have any other insights, input, anything?
Nothing that hasn't been said already.
Okay. So then bring down some of that,
Announcery tone.
yeah, some of the announcery tone, and give us another go.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay. Ellis,
I have a
how was
question.
that?
This one felt a lot more conversational to me, but
Okay.
I don't
Still not convinced?
I am. This is just one of those curiosity ones I do sometimes.
Okay.
I want to see if we can get it just a tiny bit more conversational. Mateo, do you what's something you like to just do with your friends when you hang out? Like go to the movies? go to the
Nothing
park?
anymore. My life
What did you used to like? I'm sorry, that was rude of me. What did you used to like before the thing happened?
No, I don't know. Christ in quarantine. Going playing solitaire, for example.
Awesome. Okay. So I imagine like it's after that, right? Right after. And then you're all just walking, chatting, and then you remember like, "Hey guys, I heard about this thing and I want to tell you guys about it." I feel like that sort of emotional space would be interesting to try. I did like
Okay.
this read though. This is just one of those curiosity based ones I do sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My one note is that there were a couple of places where you were stumbling a bit over the words, especially chronicling, and it might help you to go a little bit slower overall.
Definitely, because it's not a word that I ever used in my life. It's definitely.
Okay, then yeah, slow that down. Marcus, I believe you had something you were going to say before I rudely interrupted you.
It's no big deal. Quick, because I don't know, maybe I'm being hypercritical a little bit, but one of the things that I definitely do, even when I'm not on camera, is while I was delivering the copy, and I even see Leonard doing this too.
You move.
Yes, I absolutely hang on. Because if I'm reading the copy, like if I'm not even reading it, I'm going.
Yeah, I know.
You know, not moving too much to get out of the sweet spot of the mic, but you know, something, because a little bit of movement definitely gets your body more animated and into the copy.
Yeah. It's been a pin on my shoulder. It's something that I always lack. Yeah.
Is it weird that we're telling an Italian to move when he speaks?
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it, Michael.
You went there.
Wait, we've talked
went
about
there.
that before, okay? We've talked about
Just
that
for
before.
information,
I'm part Italian
I am-
too. My family comes from Italy. My grandfather's last name is
From
Balchieroso.
southern Italy. God.
Oh, it's
But
just
no,
like-
in all,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but no, in all honesty, it genuinely helps. I think it also kind of helped my read a little bit more too, because I was chuckling before most of them, and that helped brighten my read up and give it a little more energy, even without overall changing, you know, how I delivered it. Because you know, cracking dad jokes and stuff before you talk, you're gonna hear a smile a lot more if you've already been laughing or something genuinely than trying to fake it. Because
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. So moving, more like conversational in the theme of something that I want to talk
Hanging
about
with
with my
boys.
friends.
Yeah, something you're excited
Chro-
for to tell
Yeah,
to tell some friends. Yeah,
yeah.
Go for it. Just-
Chronicling.
yeah, chronicling.
Okay.
Go ahead, give us another read.
Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
I thought that was pretty solid. What did you all think? Opening it up.
definitely
Yeah.
better to me. I
Much
even
better.
you were while you weren't using your hands, you were still moving with your body, and that definitely came across in your read.
Okay.
Felt it in my bones.
Rattle me bones. Okay. Well, thank you guys.
No, thank you. You did a fantastic job.
I think it's it's Rob time.
All
Time to
right, it's
sleep.
rub time.
Well, for Mateo, it's time to go to sleep.
Hey, Mateo's an adult.
Not a
he can manage his own sleep schedule or completely ignore it and deny it. You know, just let him do it. Let him do his thing.
to bed now. No.
My computer's
myself.
freaking out on me.
Well, whenever you can get it in line, we'd love to hear you
Okay.
read.
Okay. Just by any chance, ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
All right, let's open it up. What did everybody think?
Maybe a touch too casual.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Just kind of, hey, what's up, dudes?
Yeah, tonally
Yeah,
it wasn't
this-
bad. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, please, after you.
I was gonna say tone. Oh, like the actual tone itself wasn't bad, but it was casual to the point that it was kind of starting to be a little muffled. Because I mean, yeah, we do want to come across as casual, but we still want to be understood.
Yeah, we are talking about something interesting.
Like, yeah, it didn't feel like a hey, this is a casual conversation about something that I want to talk about. Felt like,
Mhm.
hey guys, you seen the news yesterday? Crazy, huh?
You
Okay.
loosened your tie, but you're still wearing it.
Okay. I think, well, I mean, I was joking about Mateo, but maybe this time I'll try to keep you awake with this one.
Go for it. Consistency is key.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
All right, opening it up. How about that one?
Cálmate,
felt-
por favor.
Yeah, it had decent pacing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want to hear a little more of a smile, and I did like this one more though.
But
More
yeah,
of a
no,
smile.
It
Okay.
was,
definitely an
it was certainly a
improvement.
step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought this one was pretty close to perfect. The one thing I'd add is a little more space for the dash.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
So again, mixed with probably the right kind of music, I think that tone would fit, but you garbled up Candid.
Okay.
I don't know if it was internet connection or
No.
because if somebody heard something different, please let me know. But it sounded
I
like I
got
said Candid or something like that.
With me, I think that better be safe than sorry when it comes
Dan Rule. Dan Rule. Rob, you've been here long enough. You should know by now. Dan Rule violation. Just as a quick note for those of you who are unaware of what the Dan Rule is, when you are up to read, you need to be solely focused on just your performance. You leave the direction to whoever's listening, because the moment you decide to take on the role of the director while you're trying to perform, you can't be both. You're not going to be both. It's one or the other. So
And now we have to shatter your
put a
kneecaps.
referee's uniform on.
I mean, you know the drill.
it's not going to be that bad, but yes, we're going to point it out when it happens. But anyway, yeah. So
Now listen to my pals. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So just be careful with Candid, and go ahead and give us another take.
Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our sports chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Did anybody else here, instead of watch our series, watch our sports?
Uh-huh.
Whoops.
Yep.
I don't know. It's okay.
It's okay.
But other
It's
than
okay.
that, I
It-
thought it was really good.
it happens for whatever reason when you're behind the microphone and it's your turn to read, whether it be for a practice session or for an actual recorded session. Sometimes you just forget English. Sometimes it just kind of slips. Words will replace themselves constantly. It happens. It's okay. But yeah, that would definitely need to be a retake. For the most part, it was solid. I kind of like it being played up a little bit more because, again, mixed with the sort of the message that we're trying to tell here, and probably with the tone of the music that this is going to be mixed with, I'm sure that that's going to fit just fine. But yeah, be really careful. Watch our series. So
Okay.
go ahead, give us one more take. Same everything, except make sure that you don't stumble over any of the words.
Okay.
So do it again, but better.
Oh, yeah. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
Okay. And what did everybody think of that one?
So I liked it, but I noticed it was very clear that you got really in your head on that watch our series. I could hear you being like, I'm gonna do it right this time. But like I think just loosening up on that is all I would say.
I think it's good enough, and I think we should need to move on.
Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
But yeah, that would be I definitely agree. Like, just slow it down a little bit more there. But yeah, time crunch. Who's up next?
We're
Nobody.
past We're past the
There's
point
Andrew.
of a written order. In order, I noticed people coming in. It was Glenda, Michael, Andrew, Vincent.
Okay. From what I understand here, Glenda is just viewing for today, so that's totally
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. Hope you've been having fun so far.
It's been
So,
terrible.
but you're also you're welcome to go ahead and pitch in any thoughts or ideas if you wanted to. That's totally fine. But you don't have to participate if you don't want to. You said you were just viewing for now, so that's totally fine. Would you like to give us a read?
I'll try. I have a
Okay.
retainer in my mouth right now, so you're gonna hear that.
No
Whatever.
worries.
It's totally
No
fine.
worries.
We don't worry necessarily about the sound, just about the performance.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna let you guys watch me on video because
No problem. No problem at all. Video
Okay.
is not required.
okay. Let's try this out. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You leave the feedback to us. You just do what you're gonna do. So-
Roast me.
This is not a roasting session. Believe me, it's not a roasting
That
session.
we will.
Can we do one where it
Okay,
is?
maybe for Mateo it's a roasting session, but for the rest of us, we mean well. Trust me.
Can
so
we do
let's
it
go
one
ahead.
day, please, Michael? Just one time.
You know, I could pull up some random demos from places that I know people don't have professional
Oh, no,
demos done, and we
gee,
could just do a roast session on
Do
that.
not.
But no. Let's
Maybe
stay away from the
after-
negativity.
maybe
We
after
want to
this.
be constructive here, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's give Glenda some feedback. What did everybody think?
I think it was really solid. I noticed that, and you caught this too. The man, one man. I noticed that you broke the Nephilim rule. So don't do that.
Oh, that's another one. The Nephilim rule is you cannot apologize for anything that happens on your read.
Wow,
if you mess-
that is a new rule that you even heard ever.
Hey, you were there when it was instituted,
Yeah.
Mateo.
I
See,
didn't
this is
that. I
the
missed
this is the
Wednesday.
problem. This is the problem of not getting enough sleep, Mateo. You forget the things that we've already talked about.
I need a
So
rule
the
book.
whole idea- yeah, we should start putting together a mic check rule book. Just make sure to have this
Sorry,
in your
everybody.
booth
Every
all
time
the
I
time.
say things just like get off track. It's
So,
just the effect I have.
it's the Ellis effect. There we go. We have a new one.
Oh,
the Ellis effect. We
Nephilim.
start-
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, back to it. Yeah, don't apologize when you're actually in a recorded session. Most people don't care about the mistakes you make. It happens to everybody. I don't care how long they've been doing it, how many hours, how many years altogether they've had behind the microphone, whatever the case may be. Nobody minds. You know, mess ups happen. That's why we have editing sessions and editing software and things like that. It's a huge component of things. So what most people really are focused on is just, can you do the retake and just pick it up from where you left off? So don't even worry about messing up. It happens to everybody. There's nothing to apologize for. It's a natural part of what we do as voice actors. So with this one, I would say you need to bring up that personal excitement a little bit more with the read. You know, you were kind of like maybe a 6 out of 10. I want you to go up to maybe a 7 or 8.
Okay.
So bring up that excitement just a little bit more, and give yourself a break in between flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living. Because again, that's the real crazy part of this read. It's like not just flying through the air, but on a dirt bike for a living. Like that's all crazy. It's awesome. So we're gonna take you along with us. Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, man, bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends. So do not emphasize one. Leave the one alone. We know it's there. It's totally cool. So go ahead and give us one more read.
Okay. Video off. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network.
I now realize I probably shouldn't have said anything about one because that was the only thing that you hit. this time. So it's okay. Again, it happens. There's a really interesting like psychological thing that happens that when you talk about not doing something, like that's the thing you tend to do, particularly in performances. You know, it's like, oh, you're doing this weird thing with your arm on stage when you're delivering, you know, the script. Don't do that, and then you start unintentionally doing that every single time. So yeah, you had it. Your delivery was pretty close at the beginning. I still didn't hear as much energy as I would really like in this. As I keep using that word excitement as I would really like in this, but I'm going to open it up. What did everybody else think?
I thought the first half was wonderful. Second half, you lost the energy or excitement or whatever you want to call it. The direction I would give is deliver this like you're talking to your hyperactive 12-year-old nephew.
I like the way it started too. I feel like, because looking at you, I can see that even now you're smiling. I feel like that smile dropped in the middle of it.
I saw the word one.
Yeah. I get that totally. I feel like just keep that smile going. You know, this is something you really want to tell somebody about. You know, maybe like I don't know. Maybe it does, even if it doesn't appeal to you, you know that whoever you're talking to, they love this kind of thing. You're like, oh, dude, I saw this. I think you'd love it.
Sounds good.
Do you hear yourself through your headphones when you read?
No, but I might actually like try read without, because you know it's like talking with like your fingers in your ear. It just sounds weird.
Absolutely. Take them off for this next one. And give it one more try, and then we'll move on.
Okay. Ever wanted to know what it's like to go flying through the air on a dirt bike for a living? Watch our series chronicling the journey of one man, one bike, and candid interviews with some of his paramedic friends tonight on the Extreme Summer Sports Network. Okay, headphones back on.
All right, opening it up. What did everybody think?
I really felt that smile everywhere except for the first line.
Yeah.
Okay.
That first line's a doozy. It seems like everybody's been having issues with it.
It is weird.
Frank could take the first half of the previous read with the second half of this read.
Glenda played the Uno reverse card.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's just an observation.
Yeah, we cut Ellis off. Go for it.
No, I was just saying, like, that's just an observation because I know you can do both. You just showed that you can do both. It's just something I noticed, and I wanted to make sure that you're aware of.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd still love to hear more of that. Like, I don't know. I think. So let me back up a little bit. How much experience in VO do you have? Are you still fairly new, or?
Yeah, I just started in December taking classes and stuff.
Okay.
So
Good. You need to start with classes. Start with classes and training. Too many people start with demos.
Do not.
I can go into that a little bit more after the recorded portion of the mic check, but we're doing this right now. So, we'll need to work on bringing out that personal excitement. We're going to need to work on like drawing on your own personal experiences with things that get you excited. And I think that would really help out the read. But as it stands, I don't think I'd like to hear more of that personal excitement come from you, but we might need to do a few things that we just don't have the time for. We're already running way over for the recorded portion. So we'll just go ahead and move on for now, but that doesn't mean that the work is over.
Still was pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, since we're over time, unfortunately, we probably should call it right now. And anybody remaining, we'll just do it in the after portion. So Nathan, you started us up. Go ahead and take it away from me.
All right. Well, hey guys, that's the end of another great mic check. And we have some more next week. And if you want to join us, come on and join us. We're on Zoom, as you can tell, right down the lower third, it says Zoom. Also, too, we have Facebook page. We're on Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place.
We're on Discord. We got a great community building there.
The best place to be with us is right here live, because this is where the most fun happens. You know? So, hey, come on and join us, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now you can say whatever you want to.